Recently, I got somebody asking me the true meaning of life. I defined life as a piano whereby it has both black and white keys. The black keys represents the saddest moments and the white keys represent the happiest moments. So when both keys are played simultaneously together, it produces a very beautiful music. That is what I call life. It means in life we go through two things. They go simultaneously. The happiest moments and also the worst moments. But when you combine every one of them together, it produces a very beautiful music, what we call life. So without one of them, the other one is none, is useless. It doesn't happen without the other one. So because of that, I'm just right in the chicken house. I've been sharing with you excitements, all the best things that this particular batch has been doing to me. And then starting from the brooding, I brooded these chicks myself from day one up to where they are currently here. I lost only 20 on brooding, and then I literally lose none after that. Maybe some other time, but they really grow so healthy up to now. They have never been attacked by any form of disease in this particular farm. So it means currently we are already in the period of laying. They started laying very early also. On their 16th week, I started to collect eggs from this particular batch, and then by that time, actually, we were the happiest people, including you. We were the happiest people. We celebrated it. It was very enjoyable. That was actually the first time I got eggs as early as that time. So because it is now the laying process, we are going through now different things that we are realizing. There are some of them which actually appear very new to me at this particular moment. So I'm going to be sharing with you what exactly we are going through. Stick around up to the end of the video so that you don't miss any piece of what I'm going to be sharing with you at this particular moment. I told you that the birds are already laying. They have reached the percentage of 90, 85, 83, 85 there. They alternate. So recently we started to notice some weird kind of signs and symptoms in them. It was not, this is the lower section of the farm because I have two sections, the lower section and the upper section. In this lower section, I have about 800 birds down and then 1,200 upstairs. So it means we have total of 2,000 birds which are currently here. We started to realize that the birds, when they are laying, the eggs, sometimes it comes with the ovary. Ovary is where the egg is actually kept before it is laid out. So it means when the chicken is laying, till recently that I came to realize that is a condition which is called prolapse. It doesn't happen with all the chicken, it happens with some few of them. So I'm going to be sharing with you on how we are handling such a moment. Basically, there are 6 basic reasons why such a thing or what is called prolapse can happen. I will first have to define for you what a prolapse means. Prolapse is when the bird lays an egg and then the egg comes together with the ovary. That is what is called prolapse. So what are the causes of prolapse? Number 1, it may be the feed that you are feeding the chicken with. Number 2, it may be the age of the chicken. Number 3, the light intensity inside the room. Number 4, it can be the population. Are they congested? Do they have space? Do they have everything that they need? And number 5, the size of the egg. And the last reason, the double yolk. Double yolk is the eggs which have 2 yolks inside, and normally those are abnormalities. The eggs can be very big in size, and then inside there are 2 yolks. So we will define all these 6 reasons one by one. So like I told you, I have 2 flocks, both down and up. And I didn't just do everything by my own. I tried to do my best to also find from other people on the necessary reasons why something like that must happen. So the people that I actually visited, they are the vet doctors. So I went to one, he actually told me also exactly what I've just told you, and then he mentioned to me what I came back to reanalyze. Actually, also there are some differences. So I later on found out that I have another different solution that actually is still very unique, that you'll get to learn from me at this particular video, and then it will help you also to solve such a problem in your particular farm, wherever you are, so that you don't really go through a terrible moment like this. Honestly, I haven't been going through such a thing in my particular farm. The feed may be not proper. It means the feed must be having some challenges. That is also one of the reasons why a prolapse may be occurring. And one of the challenges may be the calcium deficiency in the feed. And honestly, I am so serious about the aspect of the feed, because that's all what I know that determines how successful your farm can be. Because if you feed the chicken the poor feed, you can't get whatever that you want from them. It means your whatever the results that you'll get from the farm depends on what you put in. In computer system we say garbage in, garbage out. So that way we give the best feed. So why I disqualify that the feed may not be the problem is, like, you have two flocks. There is upper section and the lower section. This problem only exists in the upper section only. There is no problem with the lower section of the farm. And then you can see currently we are mixing our feed. We are mixing the chicken feed, and this chicken feed we are mixing it together for both sections. We are not mixing for upper section separately and for the lower section separately. If it was the problem of feed, I would rather say the both sections would have the same problem. So because it is not both sections having the same problem, it means that is something different. The aspect of feed is disqualified. For your case, it may be the feed. It may be one of these things that I'm mentioning. So it means for my case, that is just disqualified. And then the second reason why there may be prolapse is the age. At which age did the birds start to lay? These birds, I brought them the same day. They get hatched from the hatchery in the same day. So by the time they reach here, I brood them all together. They grew almost all together, and then I just separate them when they fill the upper section of the house, because that is where the brooding happens. And then I brought those ones which are supposed to be on the lower section, and I left those ones which are supposed to be on the upper section. So after that, they started to lay on their 16th week. By then, there was not any single problem. So coming down here, the problem started to happen. This is already 28th week. So that is when the problem started to happen. So it means from that time, I just know that it must not be the age. If it was the age, it would have started to happen on that 16th week, because the birds would have been very young at that moment. And the third reason is the size of the egg. The size of the egg, the birds that lays jumbo eggs, the big eggs. And to your surprise, we also find those chicken who also lays very small eggs. The eggs are small, but you can still find the signs of prolapse. The ovary also comes out as well. So because of that reason, it means that one also is also disqualified, but is one of the reasons why the prolapse may occur. And also the jumbo egg, the big eggs, they are laid by some other chicken which actually doesn't have any sign of that. So for that reason, we don't also suspect something like that. And then the third one, which I think must be one of the reasons, is actually the light intensity. I will take you up there and then I will show you the solutions that we have brought for this particular moment. I've realized that there is direct entry of sunlight into the chicken house from actually directly from the sun. So this sunlight is happening because we didn't put the house into proper line with the direction of the sun. When you are building your chicken house, it is obvious that you must know that the chicken must face from west to south, to east, I mean. West to east, because the sun sets from east and then sunrise from east and then it sets from the west. So if it is that direction, it means there is no any entry of sunlight into your chicken house from either of the directions. So you must make sure that you build your chicken house in that direction so that there is no any extra light entering into the chicken house. Now look at my house right now. What we call the light intensity does not mean that the house must be very bright. Otherwise, the chicken needs about 14 hours of daylight. The daylight we are talking about is not sunlight inside. The daylight is exactly what you're observing here. Even inside your house, where there is no direct entry of sun, that is what is called daylight. And then it is not supposed to be very bright, and it's not supposed to be so dark. And it is very important. It initiates the hormones to produce the eggs, and it is very important for the laying period. So now, when it comes to the aspect of light, like I said, there is always direct entry of sunlight into the chicken house. So I suspect the birds, when the sunlight enters directly inside, the birds sometimes they just gather around to actually get the sunlight. they like whatever, just being on that particular place where there is sunlight, so that they can get maybe vitamin D. But at the same time, I'm very, very sure that excessive sunlight can really alter the hormones, and then when the hormones are altered, it can cause such a problem. So that is one of the reasons that I think must be the cause of what is called prolapse. So in case you have also such a thing in your farm, you let me know in the comment section on how it has happened and what are the conditions in your house pertaining whatever that I'm telling you in this particular video. So the other thing that I said was the population of the birds inside the chicken house. It means in particular for layers, you're supposed to keep 6.5 birds per every square meter in the room. So it means for a house of this nature, we have actually gone a little bit beyond the number that is expected to be here. I've done it sometimes, but also here it may be the problem. That is what I just said. And then it means if your chicken are so congested, that one can be a stress, and that's what I also suspect, because our birds, we have pushed it up to 8 birds per square meter, which is supposed to be 6.5. Though I have ever done it about 8 birds per square meter, though it never happened in such places, but here it has actually happened. Now we have also found a solution that to increase, you can see our land is just 15 by 15 meters. So it is a very small piece of land which is able to accommodate up to 2,000 birds. This is just a very small piece of land. We don't have any other place currently where we can take the chicken and then we put them there because they're already congested in the room. So the solution that we have designed is actually we have made roosting patches. Roosting patches is somewhere the birds can just jump up, others can be down, others can be up, and then to create some space. It means when there are 100 birds which jump onto the patches, and then there are also some of them which remains down, that way we also create some space for them. So when it comes to the solutions, it was 2 days ago that I picked like 20 birds which has that same problem, and then that one encouraged me to have solutions immediately. By the time I decided to take my actions, actually I have never given them any antibiotics. One of the reasons may also be a disease. If they are sick, such a thing can also happen. But for my case, I don't see any sign of disease. They are laying normally, though there is a little bit of reduction, but still the laying is going perfectly well according to my recommendation. So I don't expect any sign of disease. Actually, I'm not seeing any sign of disease with these birds. So I just cancel that one out. So I have found out that the light intensity and the congestion in the room must be the reason. So that's why I have made roosting patches to increase on the surface area over the volume. So it means the surface area is now greater because I have created more space on the roosting patches. And the other one is I've put tarpaulins. Tarpaulins, I put them to prevent the direct entry of the sunlight into the chicken house, and at the same time to cut the excess light. And now what I came to realize, this prolapse has also killed the chicken here. In my farm, I think I've lost about 8 birds because of prolapse. And how the birds die is because when the ovary starts to come together with the egg, other chicken, chicken are naturally attracted to shining things. It appears red, and then they start to peck. When they start to peck, and that is also a moment where the ovary continues to come out, and that is actually the basic reason why it happens here in my house, according to what I've done critically in observation. So when they start to peck, sometimes if there is nobody to rescue the chicken that they are pecking, that chicken, you are just going to find it dead, and that is how we have lost them. So that way I came to realize that there is also another problem with the laying boxes. Let us see the laying box. You can look at this one. It doesn't really have a very good, this laying box doesn't have a very good closing. It means when a chicken is laying inside, sometimes if it faces the back from outside, the other chicken will always be looking at the vent, and then they start to peck when there's just something shining, and that's also one of the reasons. So when you are making your laying boxes, make sure that you make it very closed. Make sure when a chicken enters inside to lay, it doesn't appear to other chicken. And that is also respect. I think that's why the chicken prefer to lay in a hidden place than just in open place, because maybe that is the reason why they are protecting themselves. So if you just make laying boxes very open like this, you are going to be you are going to cause a lot of problems to the chicken. So it has been also another serious challenge that I have also seen, must be the reason for the prolapse, because most of the chicken that we have picked outside, they have been pecked. The vent has been pecked, and after the vent has been pecked, it means the muscles around the vent, they burst. So after it has burst, the space just remain open, and then the ovary starts to come out, because there is nothing to protect it from coming outside. And because of these solutions that I've talked about, the rates have reduced it totally. We are no longer receiving such cases. We are now just waiting for those ones which are already affected to get recovered so that we bring them back. Otherwise, they're not dying. The only reason why they die for that thing is when other chickens start to peck them, and that's why you need to have isolation room in your farm. So when you have isolation room, you pick such birds, you take them directly into isolation room so that they are not pecked by other random mob of the chicken. So that way you can protect, you can save their lives, and then they can still be very, very important. And to your surprise, those ones which had the problem that we isolated from the main batch, they're also laying, they're giving eggs. So what is the surprise? It means they are not just sick, and that is just a condition which is not permanent, and then it comes temporarily. Now for that reason, you should always make sure that you have the isolation room, that where you keep those sick birds. So what can you do, especially when the vent or the ovary has completely come outside? What you do is you get normally I use jig. I make the concentration very low so that it is not very harmful. You know, jig is very strong acid chemical. So I make the concentration low, and then I use it to wash that protruding vent. After washing it so properly, I push it manually back. I push it back so that it is not outside. When it is outside, you know it is something which is not supposed to be outside. You cannot tell me that your internal organs can be very safe outside. No. We push it back so that it gets into its normal conditions inside, and then healing when it happens, there is no damage with the protruding vent which has actually happened. So that is the way I think will help you also to regulate on the number of the deaths that may be caused by the prolapse in your farm. So if you are watching me for the first time, please, this is laboratory. We practically say our experience about poultry farming. Like I told you, life is like piano. We just don't expect everything to be nice. We go through all these ones, and for me personally, I got used to them. Me, I'm okay with any condition, the best one, the worst one. Me, I'll just always be moving, and that's what I encourage you to do, because the biggest problem that affects young people is when they think there should be no problem. Not only young people, actually everybody. People think there should be no problem, but naturally there is supposed to be a problem. That's why life is like a piano. It has two keys. So let us move on, and then we find a problem. Look also for the solution. When you get the solution, that is what we find as opportunity, because it is all about solving problem. Even this thing what we call a business is all about solving other people's problem. If you can manage to solve other people's problem, that is where money follows. So exactly what I've talked to you is what is actually happening. We can see this wonderful chicken has just jumped over to my place, to my shoulder. I think that is love. I'm father chicken. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let us see you in the next video, which is coming soon. Bye bye. You can say hi to my chicken.